So today I thought I'd do a movie review, which I haven't done in a very long time. So I'm going to be doing a movie review of the movie Promising Young Woman.
Every week, I go to a club. I act like I'm too drunk to stand. And every week, a nice guy comes over to see if I'm okay.
So the movie is about this girl whose best friend in college was sexually assaulted. And she's now taking revenge on guys. So what she does is she goes to bars, pretends to be drunk. She's actually coherent the whole time, but she pretends to be drunk, and then she ends up going home with the guys, and they'll try to sleep with her and sexually assault her and rape her. Trigger warning for everyone watching the video. I'll put it at the top of the description. This video does mention those sort of things because that's what the movie's about. So I don't think she actually kills them. I think she just warns them. Like, it's like, hey, you shouldn't do that. You're gonna learn your lesson today. But not in like a killing way. I don't know, it doesn't really explicitly say if she kills them or not. She just says every single week for I don't even know how long. I'm guessing since the assault, which was about 7 years ago in the timeline. In the movie, she is like, she hasn't been the same since then. She went to medical school. She was in medical school, dropped out because of her friend's assault, dropped out with her, and just didn't end up becoming a doctor. She ended up still living with her parents, working at a coffee shop. So she meets this guy who she went to college with, and he's now a doctor. He's a pediatrician, played by the lovely Bo Burnham, one of my favorite comedians. He meets her again, and he's like, why'd you drop out? And she doesn't tell him why. So he finds out, like, the reason and everything. Like, she eventually tells him, and he's like, oh my god, I remember when that happened, I'm so sorry. So she meets this guy, and he's actually a nice guy. That's the whole narrative, is these guys who say they're nice, but they're not actually. Like, that's the whole thing, is it's basically trying to teach you men lie, and they don't deserve rights. So she meets Bo, and she's literally convinced he's this nice guy, he would never hurt her. There are spoilers, by the way. Put that in the title. So she's in this relationship. She stops meeting these guys. Well, she does, but she doesn't tell him why she's doing it. So she blows him off one day because she's not really ready for a relationship at that point. So he sees her at a bar with this guy, basically doing the thing she usually does, tricking this guy. And he meets her, and he's like, oh, I knew you were gonna be like one of those girls. And she's like, let me explain what's going on. He's like, you don't have to. So eventually she's like, no, let me explain. I'm not a bad person. This has nothing to do with you. I want to be with you. So she ends up being with him. They're super sweet together. She stops going to the bars, stops going out with these guys, stops doing what she's been doing. So then she finds out that the guy that assaulted her best friend is getting married. He's getting married to a woman, and she's like, are you kidding me? So she starts planning this revenge plot. So the first thing she does is she meets up with one of her other friends who denied the assault ever happened, was incredibly mean to her, and basically is like, hey, can you tell me all the details about this? Gets her super drunk, confronts her. So then she sends her to this hotel room with this guy. And she's convinced that she's been raped, this other girl. So she meets up with the main girl later on. I can't remember the character's name. I really don't remember character names that well. So she meets up with her again, was like, was I assaulted? And she was like, no. That guy didn't do anything to you. I wouldn't do that to a person. He was just helping you make sure you were okay. Okay, I wouldn't let that happen to someone. So then the next part was meeting with the dean of the school from that time, and she's still dean of the school. And is like, so you never prosecuted him. You never said anything about him. So then she threatens that her daughter was dropped off in the same room that her friend was assaulted in with a bunch of frat guys. So this woman's like freaking out the day of the school. She's like, why would you do that to my daughter? Turns out it's not true. She tricked her daughter into going to a diner to meet her favorite band, but the band's not even gonna show up. So that happened. Then, I can't remember the third part, but then the fourth part is the main part. So, the girl that she thought, the girl that she got drunk, comes to her house and is like, hey, by the way, when the assault happened, there was a tape. Like, someone filmed it. And we passed it around and laughed at it, and I wanted to know if you wanted it. If you want to send it to the police or something. Like, if you want this for closure reasons. So she watches the video. She finds out that the guy she's dating was there, and he didn't do anything about it. He watched it happen, helped film it, was an accomplice in this crime, like a literal crime. So she confronts him and is like, are you still friends with those guys? Yeah, what's happening at the bachelor party? So she shows up at the guy that assaulted her best friend, shows up at his bachelor party pretending to be the stripper, sends roofies all of his friends so they all pass out, takes him up to a private room, ties him up, puts him in handcuffs. So she's talking about what happened and literally like lecturing him and threatening him and all this stuff. So she's gonna like carve her friend's name into his skin. That's what she says she's gonna do. So this guy's trying to fight out of all this stuff. He yanks off one of the handcuffs, pushes her down, and suffocates her to death. And it's like, what the... So she has to die. So she dies. He suffocates her to death for a very long time. Like, he's holding this pillow on her face, telling her to shut up, stop screaming, all this stuff. And it's like, what the hell? Like, what? What? So, he's there. He's still handcuffed by one hand. And I'm like, first of all, they're cheap handcuffs. Why couldn't you get out of the second one? It literally would be like a click and go. Unless it actually needed a key. Which, don't ask me why I know things about handcuffs. Anyway, she goes to a bachelor party, all of that. He kills her. Wakes up the next day with her dead body in the bed. Her dead body is lying there, has been lying there for probably 12 hours. 12 hours. He's been lying with a dead body next to him. No remorse. So his friend walks in, the best man at his wedding, and is like, what, bro, I don't know what happened. He thinks the stripper's just like, he thinks she's just like playing it, like she's asleep. He then looks, she's actually dead. And he tells him, oh, it'll be fine. It's not your fault. What, how is it not his fault? He killed her. Like, that's, men are crazy. Why are men the way they are? And I'm not saying this to be, like, mean to men. I'm just saying, like, that's what the movie's portraying. And honestly, it's kind of believable. So then they're like, we have to get rid of the body. They burn her body. Burn her in, like, one of those, like, full things. They burn her body. Burn the wig she's wearing, every piece of evidence that they can get. The wedding happens. Same location, the wedding happens. So she's gone. She's disappeared. Her parents called the police. It's like, she's a missing person. What the hell do we do? So then they go to her boyfriend's, and he's like, oh, I don't know where she is. Because he thinks they're questioning him about the rape. It's like, no, 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 no. Your girlfriend was murdered. And you don't care. She's disappeared. She's gone missing. And you don't care. What? You said you were in love with her just a couple days ago, and now you don't care that she's disappeared off the face of the earth? That no one knows where she is? No one's seen her in a few days? What? And you're gonna tell the officers you don't know where she is. So then, the wedding happens. Everything goes great. The reception. Bo Burnham's character is there. He gets a scheduled message. So there's like a thing on like, I don't know what kind of phone it was, but you can send messages for a different time. Like you can schedule text messages for a particular time. If I could figure out how to do that, that'd be great. She sends a local cop who investigated the rape and then ended up quitting being a cop. She sends him the tape of what happened, the evidence, everything. And it's like, here you go. She sends her new best friend a necklace. And then she's like, hey, about me disappearing? This is gonna be great. The cops show up at the wedding, find the husband, and are like, sir, you're under arrest for the murder of her. And he's like, what? His best man runs away because he doesn't want to be caught. And it's like, does she really have to die? Also, it's playing, and then the angel in the morning, just kiss my cheek before you leave me. The song from Deadpool, love that it's in this. Love that song, it's great. I don't know the words, but I love it. Anyway, so it's a really good movie. I give it like an 8 or a 9 out of 10. Really great casting. The script, the dialogue was good. The plot was great. I was really upset by her dying, but I think it really like solidified it, because you find out her friend died, the friend that was assaulted. She committed suicide because of all the trauma she went through from it. So then they were back together in heaven, I guess. So yeah, it's a really good movie, and I really recommend it, but I wouldn't recommend it as a great date movie, because then you're gonna look at your mans and be like, so what do you think of what happened? What do you think of these men? And you know, some men will be like, men should never be capable of doing that, that's wrong, and that's great when they say that, but other men are gonna be like, it's just like this feminist propaganda. Drop him, leave him. If he says something like that, if he says, oh, that movie sounds dumb, there's no reason for it, it's not real, rape isn't real. If a man actually says rape isn't real, that means he's raped someone. That's just my opinion. So yeah, that's that. It was a great movie. I recommend it. Really makes you feel like, wow, I hate men now. I really do. Really do hate some men out there. The fact that y'all are capable. It's not exaggerated. These are things that men do. Like, this is a thing that could happen. That probably has happened in the past. Okay? And she talks about, I'm not the only girl who does this. There are hundreds of girls who do stuff like this. There are plenty of girls that do the same shit that I'm doing, and it's probably true. And honestly, I would too. Anyway, I love the movie. I recommend it. Please go see it. I believe it's in theaters, but it might be on a streaming service soon. Could be on HBO Max. I have no idea. But I do recommend it. It was really good. 8 or 9 out of 10, honestly. Yeah, it was a really great film. This is not sponsored, by the way. None of my movie reviews have ever been sponsored, just want to clarify. None of my videos have ever been sponsored. None of my makeup stuff, none of my movie reviews, none of my TV show or book reviews, nothing's been sponsored. None of my shopping hauls, nothing at all. But thank you guys so much for watching. if you like this video, give it a thumbs up. Subscribe for more movie reviews in the future. Comment what movies I should go see and review next if you want to see any other reviews. Hit the notification bell for a new video every week. Thank you for watching my latest videos. Follow the social media links in the description below. Instagram, TikTok, Tumblr, Fandom Blog, Everblog, Twitter. And I will see you next week with another video, whatever that may be. Bye!